Welcome to Shar Stories. Today, this one's called Highly Hoped Up. Okay, it's an idiom that was used by my mom's generation, and it means when somebody thinks more highly of themselves than they ought. Okay, our family in Detroit was a mixture of people coming from the country. Almost everybody was from the country, and marrying people from the South. And that's almost the same thing because when we got together, there were folks from Alabama, Georgia, Tennessee, South Carolina, Mississippi. All right. And most of the folks in my mother's generation migrated to Detroit for jobs in the factories, that $5 a day job they were offering at Ford's, or to help with businesses started by their relatives. Some were legal, some were illegal. All right. And most of my relatives that were in my mom's generation, now my mom did have 1 year of college, but that was the unusual. Um, Most of them had probably less than a sixth grade education, but they had lots of money due to legal and illegal sources. And this was a source of frustration because I can remember my mother's sister telling me they would dress up and go to these high class places, but they really weren't accepted because of their lack of education and their inability to communicate in standard English, really. So I remember quite well as one example of this of sitting in my aunt's kitchen, and it was during a winter holiday gathering, and the house was full of extended family and friends. And her sister-in-law came in, and she was sitting next to me on the. They had one of those built-in kitchen kind of things. What do you call it? A nook, I guess, where the seating expanded like a V, like on one wall, and then went to the other, and you had a table. In order to get out, if you were sitting like in the middle of that kind of wall, built-in wall bench, people had to get out in order for you to get out. But children, they would just scoot up underneath the table and get out. It was awkward design. But anyway, she was sitting next to me, and it wasn't cold in the house at all, but she still had on her full length mink coat because that was what she had, and she was showing it off to anybody that had come in. And so the highly hoped up part, I remember her husband came into the room, and he was talking, and she spoke up to correct him on his English, and she says, no, not us's, honey, wheezes. Okay. I still chuckle at that faux pas. But I think about how Elohim will judge us according to his commands, not according to how well we think of ourselves. I think that when we use excuses to be non compliant to his commands, we are really being highly hoped up. And to remind you of this in the scripture is Revelation 14:12. Here is the patience of the saints, they that keep the commandments of Jehovah and the faith of Yeshua. Thanks for joining in today. Remember to like and share.